Ah, there we go. I had to click the go live button. So it should be live now. I'm doing this with the iPhone. Ah, there we go. You hear how bad the audio is? There's a fan running in the back. Let me see if I can fix that a little. Give me a sec. We have advanced technology happening. This actually shows the... Here we go. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna make some iced coffee, and then we will get into tasting a bunch of stuff. But I'm testing this where I'm like, this is all on the iPhone. I'm not even wearing like a microphone or anything, which is horrible for viewer experience, but like, you know, we gotta see what is literally like, what is the lowest bar? What is the lowest amount of production I can get away with, right? Okay. Well, what we're gonna do today is, this is probably for a few of you guys, but it's mainly for some of you guys who want to hang out on a Friday night on the Discord, is we're gonna make some, we're gonna taste a few different coffees actually. So I have this coffee from my friend Pac of Newbery Street. So this is pretty exciting, and I don't know if you guys see this, but this is a Thailand natural anaerobic processed coffee from Newbery. And then I have coffee to shill. I always have coffee to shill, right? So this is a coffee that is currently for sale, and we only have a few more bags of it because people buy them out. And that is from my thing, which is this, I'll add into the description. I am a big proponent of pushing some of these Taiwan coffees out there into the world, so that's what this is. So this is a coffee SL34 honey from me. Very cool, right? So we're gonna go through just, I don't know, tasting some of these coffees. I'm gonna see if you guys like them at all. On the phone, okay, with this, we actually have stream chat showing up here, and there's also stream chat here. I can turn that off. I have no idea. Actually, we'll keep it on. I'm too lazy to turn it off. I have to like change the stuff on the iPhone. So, and people who stumble upon the VOD will actually be able to see things. So yeah, I'm gonna brew this guy SL34 honey. It's a light roast. Taiwan coffee is super interesting, and I'm actually much more familiar with it now after running this. Having some of these Taiwan coffee releases in the past few months, it's been quite interesting to put some of these coffees out there and see what people think. These off-origin coffees, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, so I'm going to make myself some iced coffee because it's hot in here, and then I'm going to go and brew these two. Hi from Thailand. I've tried a lot of expensive Thai beans. Most of them suck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to hold these necessarily to the same flavor profile perspective that you might have if you're brewing, like, these coffees. Nor do I think you necessarily need to hold them to that standard, but I just find always very unique flavor profiles coming from these coffees. So it's really funny, but Pac named his coffee roastery after a street in Boston called Newbery Street. And of course, if you Google Newbery Street coffee, you will literally get coffee shops on Newbery Street. So yeah, or Newbery. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Oh, did I spell it wrong? I spelled it wrong, like Newbery. Newbery, because like if you search Newbury, you get a lot of cafes in Boston. Pack is in Boston. So yeah, I'm gonna make some iced coffee of something here. Let me see what is a good choice. I've actually been really enjoying this coffee from Sorolina. I've also been quite enjoying some of these coffees from Ilsa. But yeah, I'm gonna like eventually get to these two guys. I just haven't had any coffee today at all. So it's gonna be kind of, I need to like wake up, you know? I also have this coffee. I'm actually going to go and see Pepe. But yeah, you know, like I think a lot of these like Southeast Asian countries and a lot of Asia in general, you will find a lot of coffees that have tapped into the anaerobic process stuff. Like Ordinary, for example. This is I have a better example somewhere here. Like these were pretty great coffees, but this is this is like an Indonesian coffee that is anaerobic wash. You'll find a lot of those coffees. I'm gonna brew an iced coffee of the last of the remaining Sidra Wave that I have from Apollon's Gold. God, this coffee's great. Making iced coffee with it, and I probably will use one of these grinders. Yeah, so like a lot of it's kind of interesting. So I'll like give a brief explanation. You know, I have a lot of actually off-region coffees. Like here is the Excelsa from Kaveri. A lot of these coffees that are from these different regions, all kind of exhibit, there is that generic fermenting finish. I see Arsenal talking about it, but what I have found is each of them, a lot of like the basic coffees from these different regions will all exhibit a kind of distinct, terroir flavor. So like a lot of the Indo coffees have this level of spiciness to them. A lot of the Indian coffees have like earthiness to them. Taiwan coffee has like a dry tea leaf flavor to it. Chinese coffee, same thing, similar. So a lot of these coffees like baseline taste like that. But what's interesting is like now tapping into processing, it's like how much of that is just like processing with terroir, or how much is it like integrated together, so on and so forth. But also a lot of these producers are growing, different varietals, right? So that's also the challenge there. I just realized I scratched my beautiful O1 here. Okay, let's make some iced coffee or something. Guess I'll use the S-Works dripper. Give me a sec, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I keep the negotiator for S-Works in the kitchen by the sink so I could actually use it easily. That's kind of what I've been doing because it just makes it a lot more straightforward when it comes to negotiating, or, oh my god, I'm using the word negotiator. Sorry, Harry. Oceating. Make some iced coffee. Man, it is so hot in the Bay Area right now. It's kind of miserable. That's 75. Anybody wondering, this is a 12-gram dose, if I remember correctly, and I'm doing 75 iced and 120-ish hot. And that seems to do a pretty great job, especially when I'm brewing with something like the S-Works here. So it's gonna let me push up that extraction. But yeah, you can see like I got all my filters here. I'm gonna move that out of the way so it's not as ugly. There's just stuff everywhere as usual with the setup. But also, yeah, I'm curious because it's like if I can get away with the iPhone production quality, right? We can effectively do a bunch of other stuff, and I can start like doing some interesting mixes of like having the stream run and then have like one camera here and then another camera over there. Right. Oh, yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah, we're gonna do some of that Taiwan coffee in a bit. Just let me get through to a lot of stuff. iPhone shows more ceiling. Excellent. Rogue Wave had a Thai coffee. It's interesting. I'm drinking naturals. I like my fruity iced coffee. This is also at a 5, if you're curious, on the O1 at the lowest RPM. I'm brewing at 98 Celsius. Oh man, pet-based coffees are so good. In my experience, generic fermenty flavors for the processed one, especially in the finish. Yeah, I could totally see that. So it's because, yeah, audio, well, I don't even have like a lav mic or anything on me. I am literally just using the iPhone microphones right now. And I have a fan running in the background. But it's a chill day, man. I'm just trying to have fun. Brew some coffee, hang out with the people from the Discord. We're not doing anything that seriously. There's like 20 of you guys on a Friday, right? But I wanted to taste some of these coffees anyway because I think they're just really interesting. And these both just show up today. Honestly, it's hard to tell the difference between this and the more pro setup. The audio is the only thing that's kind of mad. Yeah, audio will. I mean, I could plug in a better microphone, but obviously I'm too lazy to do that. So, you know, you have to deal with that. Sweet. All right. Now I have my iced coffee. Brewing with the pink S-Works dripper. It looks really good on the iPhone. I don't know how it translates into here, but all right, got some Pepe iced coffee. Now I can actually start the stream, right? Tomorrow, we're gonna do the power tower. So anybody who is here tomorrow, we're gonna do the Flare Power Tower and a bunch of stuff, according to what all these other guys want to do. So yeah, all right. Which one should we start with? Let me get some more water. Right. I'm gonna lower this to like 94 Celsius, and I'm gonna brew these on April. I'm gonna do something very scary. I'm gonna brew all this on April. I guess I'll start with this Thai coffee first. So Billy Maymon, Thailand. Red cherry, red wine, and Concord grape. Now, I do not know. Oh man, that's crazy. This guy has a label, and that is insanity to have that also not written, or like, so this guy is like getting his roast dates and all that ahead of time and then putting it on here, and this is like not handwritten. Also, I don't know what's up with some of the, like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, look, the notes are in different fonts. Like red cherry, red wine, and Concord grape are all in different fonts. Is this like I have observed this among Southeast Asian coffee roasters in the past few months. Is different fonts randomly. Anyway, I'm excited for this. I'm semi doing some work right now, so this one we might put on. We're definitely probably gonna put this one on the X Bloom, but I'm gonna taste it now. We'll see what happens, and I will put away these other coffees. But Pac is such a great guy. I really just want to drink more of his coffees. I think he's roasting on Stronghold, if I remember correctly. And he's roasting in Boston. He got second, I think, or third at US Brewers Cup. And yeah. But we're gonna do this one, and then we'll do this one, and we might do something fun like these drip bags. But I have a few more bags of this coffee left, so if you guys want to pick it up. It is expensive. That's the problem with Taiwan coffee, is it's all super stupid expensive. You should try PH coffees next. Maybe you should send me some. I've only had the pleasure of drinking a anaerobic natural, I think, something Liberica from Communes. So your local roastery. Let's crack this guy open. This was roasted pretty recently too. Oh wow. Woo, okay. That is pretty decent. It's light. And you can tell it's not omega processed. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've had a Thailand coffee, and I'm trying to figure out what is a good way to describe what Thai coffees like generally taste like. Let me see if you guys want to look at the beans closer. Let me see. Let me look up this guy's Instagram, guys. One sec. I don't know if he even has this on his website, but this is from Newbery Street. Okay, he does have 3 fonts on. I'm getting trolled here. Okay, here's the coffee we're drinking right now. I'm posting this in the chat. Newbery Street. Shout out to the man Pac. This is a Chiang Rai. Maymon not Chiang Mai, Thailand. Billy Akaza coffee, natural anaerobic. It's light. It's a mixed varietal, so we have yellow bourbon, red bourbon, typical Katuai, and Catamore. Oh boy, there's Catamore in here. Tasting notes: red cherry, red wine, Concord grape. Yeah. Oh, this guy has a recipe too. Okay. I will do something similar to his recipe. What's he brewing here? He's brewing 15 to 250. Whoa, or 220. So that is a very lower ratio. The secret stash sub should have another slot in it if I'm not mistaken. But this is most likely going on secret stash. So if you don't want to taste Thailand coffee, you might want to not sub for this. Okay, we'll brew it to his ratio. I'm going to. He's using Oreo Mark V3 Mark II with Kalita Wave 182. He's brewing 92 Celsius. I know he uses Commandante. Well, we use 01. Wow, his brew time is 150. Okay, that's probably means it flows very, very fast. All right, or should I do this on April? Which one's worse or better? We could do the April, or we could do we could do S-Works non-Oshid with full open valve. That might be a Geez. You can ask him tomorrow. I'm gonna screenshot this chat message and send it to him. He's at the gym right now. I'm pretty sure. This guy is on the grind, man. Okay. 1 sec. All right, I got the meme craft. Oh God, what's happening? This is the this is a Brewista craft. Brewista makes some pretty fun products. Not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of some of these Brewista products. Yeah, he's at the gym right now. He can't be on the stream, and he's out there. He's on the grind. Okay, I'm gonna brew with this full open because I think this is the closest to Oreo Mark III. And I don't have the Oreo here right now. And we're gonna use wave filters, non-Oshid. So cursed. So cursed. All right, let me grind this and let's give it a smell. I think I'm gonna go slightly coarser. Feels like that's the correct choice here. Oh, and let me move this Deep 27 out of the way. I also really need to brew this one. This is that Pull and Pour Yemen coffee that Andrew from Pull and Pour handed me. I probably should taste that at some point. All right. Let's grind this and see what it smells like. And I'm gonna finish up the rest of my Pepe Teoxidator, not teoxidator, trioxidator. This is the Sidra Wave Natural. I only had like 20 grams of coffee earlier. It's been a rough day, man. I'm like so behind on a lot of stuff. Have not read a million messages. Let me see if I can get Harry into the chat. How are you liking the Sidra Wave Natural? I think the Sidra Wave Natural is great. Admittedly, I have not had Sidra Wave Natural from many roasters. The only two roasters I had, one of them was from Bill, and the other one is, Bill Hydrangea, and the other one is from Poland's Gold, the first, like, super early Sidra Wave Natural. It was a little too boozy for me, but this one is great. This one that's from Poland's Gold. I'm quite impressed. I think it's really good. It's a lot, quote unquote, what are the words? Clean for a natural. But I really haven't brewed much of it as, like, I don't have, Harry stole it from me, man. I've only been able to brew it, I've just been brewing it iced because it's great. So I don't have the best opinion of it, I would say, but I think it tastes great, iced. Okay. Ooh, whoa. Okay, what is happening here? I should tell Pac that I'm tasting his coffee right now, but okay, this has a lot of stuff happening right now. I linked it in the chat, but you guys can scroll if you guys can scroll up a little. But he says, yeah, there's yellow bourbon, red bourbon, Typica Katuai, and Katimor, and it is a lot of. I mean, I'm smelling process. That's the first thing I'm smelling. But it's not like a unpleasant process. I'm smelling like process into terroir. So I think Arsenal, or --R, the legend in my Discord, he was talking a little bit about how a lot of these coffees from Southeast Asia is like they're very like funk bomby, and usually they are, but let's see like how well this anaerobic is done here. I have tasted some really great anaerobic, naturally processed coffees from Southeast Asia, and this might be another one of them. Oh, let's follow Pac's recipe, guys. He says it's awesome. He puts the recipe, so he does 92 Celsius. That's exactly what I brew a lot of these Asia Roasting Project coffees at, or a lot of the Taiwan coffees and China coffees. I brew them at 92 Celsius because I find 92 to that 94 world, of course, I'm using higher clarity burr sets, it gives me enough acidity but rounds things out a lot. Okay, so he puts 40 gram circle. At 30 seconds, he does a 40 gram, oh man, wait. Okay, 80 gram center pour, and then he does a 150 G's. Okay. 40 circle, 40 center, 70 center, 70 center. That might be really hard to fit it in here, in this stripper. But let's give it a shot. And I think he's pouring like at a decent speed. Okay, I do smell some of the anaerobic. At 30 seconds, he does a 40 circle. This is a little fresh. I would let this rest probably for another week. .40 center. Oh yeah, that's a little fresh. And then he does a 70 center. Is that right? Okay. At 50 seconds, he does a 70 center. Okay, this guy's like center pouring a lot. Maybe he has negotiated Victoria, and I'm doing something really stupid right now. Okay, and then at 120 he does another 70. So it's 1 to 14 point something, if my math is correct. Maybe I'm grinding too fine, actually. All right. It's been a while since I've tasted Thai coffee, so I hope it is good. Okay, he says anytime 150. I'm at 142 right now, and it's gonna end up, yeah, basically at 150, 140, 149, 150. Yeah. Okay. I guessed that grind size, and I was close enough. Now I'm gonna taste this and hope it's good. I will admit it's a little fresh. Sensorial coffee. All right, let me catch up with the chat. I was reading the instructions on how to brew PAX coffee. I also have a lot of Pepe's coffee right now. I have the San Pedro. I have all of those other coffees as well. It is kind of an interesting ratio. I will say that I have found a lot of you know, I'm not gonna, I was like gonna make a statement and be like, oh, a lot of the Asians brew this way, but you know, I have seen like a lot of people from like Southeast Asia, Japan, like to brew those like 1 to 13s to 1 to 15s, just because like it gives you a lot of body. Yes, this is the new SL34 bag. I'm gonna taste it after I taste this guy here. In the box. This is what you're gonna get in the box. I'm a salesman. This is QVC right now. So you get the box. And then in here, we're using the actual distillate coffee packaging. It's okay, Alan. You're actually going to dinner with your girlfriend. Have fun. I hope you two have fun. You can pull the stream up while you're at dinner. Yeah, so this coffee comes in this packaging. So the distillate packaging, which is like crazy shiny. And then we put the label on here, and then you also get a drip bag. So we're trying to like see if people like these drip bags. This is their blend of coffee, but so I guess we can brew this later. But yeah, you get these two, and then yeah, that's how it is. Okay, let's taste this Thai coffee. Really interesting aromatics. I totally see like a red wine Concord grapey situation going on, which is what this guy has said, but it's totally that grape. It's like grape acidity. The question is how much of these aromatics am I going to experience in cup? Yeah, if you like the Mojo drip bag, this is quite similar. This is a distillate drip bag. Very cool. But yeah, there are only like, I don't know how many bags of this is left. I can look on the website. Look at my inventory. Okay. So there is definitely anaerobic happening here. Ooh. This is exciting. Whoa. Okay. All of these flavor notes are pretty damn spot on. I get this nice acidity, nice sweetness, and then I taste the Thailand terroir. But it's not offensive. It's not the cleanest coffee in the world. I'm gonna let this cool. But the fruitiness level is pretty good. And it's really interesting. Like, look at this. It has like, maybe because it's this 1 to 14-ish ratio that it's really covering up a lot of stuff. It's like a super syrupy body. for this ratio. But look at this bed. It's like I just poured straight in the center. I mean, this is like lower extraction style of brewing, which I think works well, and with that lower temperature, I think it really rounds things out. Slight bitters, but I think that's because I think that's definitely because of this is a little fresh, little like muddied in that sense from the off gassing. Like it still could open up in probably like another week or two. It's gonna taste great, but it's really sweet. I am quite liking this. It's definitely on par with some of those, some of the better of the ordinary, the Indonesian coffees that I've tasted. It's definitely like on par with that, where it's like good coffee, and then at the end there's like a little bit of that roughness and bitters and terroir flavor, if that makes sense. It's also there's a nice red fruit note in this. I would buy this. I'm glad he sent me a sample of it. There is bitters, or there are some bitters in here, but they're not like insanely offensive. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah, this is like not bad. Honestly, good job, Pack. There's like this really nice the texture in here. It's sweet. The linger there is where I think I'm tasting. Like when I see the word Catamar, my brain is primed for Catamar, so it kind of tastes like that. But the rest of it's good. But yeah, there is like quote unquote off flavors here. I'm gonna let this one really cool down. We'll brew the Taiwan coffee and we'll come back to tasting this. But once this really cools down, let's taste what is the boosted flavor, what are the boosted flavors from the anaerobic process versus the not anaerobic. Like will things fall apart? But so far, when it's warm, this is a great coffee. I'm gonna put this on X Bloom. Very cool. There's definitely anaerobic process in there, but it's not like the most offensive thing I've ever tasted. I'm wearing a Mod Cup t-shirt, and I got a Mod Cup glass here. Please don't try too much of the Thai-produced coffee from a Thai person myself. There are a lot of Catamar mixed. Drinking large portion of that can cause heaviness on your head. Yeah, so that is where I'm tasting like some of the bitters. That's like what I'm getting, that Catamar flavor. So it's like, from some of these Chinese coffees, there's that Catamar in there. And Catamar is basically Robusta light. It has that high caffeine content, and it's adding that bitters. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. Like this is double, like low ratio. So it's like bigger body. And then it's also has a bit of Catamar here. Now, I don't know what the exact percentages of like, this is X percent of like Catamar or whatever is in here. But this is not a funk bomb. Or like, this is not, oh, here's processing. This is like pretty well, this is an anaerobic natural, so it tastes like an anaerobic natty, but it's not like all the worst things of an anaerobic combined with all the worst things of a natural in the cup. It's like we're getting the nicer aspects of those processes together. So it's interesting, right? It's like, whoa, producers in Thailand are tapping into crazy processing. I wonder, I don't know, the Boston, it's Boston tap water. The guy's recipe, he literally says, I run Boston tap water through a zero water. Okay, well, this is now let's kind of move over to something else. I'm gonna let this really cool down and we'll revisit and taste, but now let's taste some Taiwan coffee. This is a SL34 honey from Ali's son, or from wherever the hell Taiwan coffee is grown, which is like in a few regions in the entire country. This is going to be hopefully very interesting. I do not know how good this is going to taste right now because this was just roasted yesterday. So anybody ordering, we roasted yesterday and we're going to ship them out next week. These now we like to rest these for around 2.5 to 3 weeks. But yeah, at least in the initial tastings, I was getting like tangerine, Asian pear sweetness, crisp acidity. There's like a lot of structure in this coffee. And my labels turn out pretty good. Like look at how cute these labels are. Very nice. Yeah, Timor, okay. There is definitely that Robusta, like heavy caffeine flavor that I am not the biggest fan of. But yeah, this is expensive, man. Like this coffee, I'm gonna relink it here because I'm a shill. Is it considered shilling if it's your own business? How does that work? But it is Omega Fresh. So yeah, it's like, it's not as expensive as our other release. The other release sold out, which was crazy. And I'm really happy that 25 of you got to experience another SL34 that we had. But this is SL34 honey process, and I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna give it a taste. Yeah, it's fresh. Yeah, let me brew. I also think this was like a yellow honey, yellow something. I have heard of Brew Boy. I don't know if I can buy from him. It's really hard to buy some of these coffees. I'll brew on April. I'm lazy. Yeah, a little fresh, but don't know if you guys can exactly see here. But it's decently light. This is a light roast. Yeah. A lot of Taiwanese coffees that I have had the opportunity to taste and feature. Yeah, we're gonna do this natural geisha soon. Is they all the terroir characteristics, or like once things really cool down, in the finish, a lot of these coffees taste like dry tea leaves. Or like if you've ever eaten at a Asian restaurant and that serves you tea, and they have like some of the tea leaves that just like, at the end of the teapot, it's like that, where it's that dried tea leaf effect, or maybe like some damp tea leaf. That's where you can get like some weird bitters, some, those types of off flavors. So it is something that is interesting, in my opinion, because there still is a lot of other great flavor. There's still a lot of other great flavors found in these Taiwan coffees. But it's another one of these regions on the come up. Always curious. Always want to support new places popping up. That's why I like these Indian coffees, these Thai coffees, these Chinese and Taiwan coffees. I'm actually going to grind this, and then I'm going to let it just sit there, and we'll try to get some air in it. Oh, this is a great thing. The other day I just did a stream on resting coffee, so this is what you can do right here. So this was just roasted yesterday, and it's really light. Let's talk a little bit about if you have things that are a little too fresh, because this is exactly exactly what happens right here is what I'm smelling right now. So I roasted yesterday. It's light. Would probably rest this coffee at least 2 weeks before you start brewing. Is you want to now just let this sit out in the open for maybe like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna link something actually from Poland's Gold, but yeah, it's pretty helpful to do it this way. So you grind and then you brew in 15 minutes and all of that. Where the hell did you put this? It was like if you V60 brew guide. I cannot find this easily, but yeah, basically with the ultra light roasted coffees or even light any coffees, just let them off gas. So you can grind, like I'm ground here. This is decently light. I'm just gonna let this sit, and I'm going to let it kind of get into the air. You can kind of try to get air into here, and that is the start. So Timothy, what you can do is, this was roasted yesterday, so it's a little bit more of an egregious example, a little harder to do, but grind it, let it sit there for 15 to 20 minutes, and it's gonna off gas in that sense. Obviously, you can like shake it, like I can shake it here and try to really get some more air into it, but grinding and just letting it sit there is going to really help reduce some of that crazy off-gassing, or maybe not crazy off-gassing, but some of those off flavors. And then we'll do it when I'm brewing. It's going to be hard for you guys to see, but I'm going to do a double bloom. So I'm going to do like a 45-second bloom or a minute-long bloom for the first pour, and then I'm going to do that again for the second pour. And then, yeah, if you need to use it that soon. It feels like maybe half an hour or 15 minutes is 15 minutes to half an hour has been pretty good for just like, it helps you open the coffee up just enough. Obviously you're probably still going to taste roast, but it's not going to be as egregious as if you just brewed it straight up. Yeah, if they're 5 days, well, okay, like it depends on how light they are, but if you let it 5 to 10 minutes is probably fine. Came back from trip to Taiwan last week. Coffee is just as expensive there as in the U.S., including Taiwanese coffees. Yeah, I think that's a good thing, personally speaking, because coffee in a lot of those other regions and other countries, the approach is so different culturally speaking. Like here in the U.S., right, we're all like, oh, coffee should be cheap. Coffee's like quote unquote commodity. There's still a huge generation of people who think that way, and that's totally fine. Like people grew up in that Folgers era, and then you have people like Starbucks who've come along and like say, oh no, coffee should be $5. Not to people just like Starbucks, but I think they've done a great job in the sense of, hey, coffee should be valuable. And then now it's specialty's job to like kind of run with that. So it's interesting to see like places like in Asia also have coffee, like maybe a more, I would say the culture seems to appreciate a mix of craftsmanship, but also the pricing. Like coffee is not necessarily viewed as harshly as a commodity. That's my opinion, at least. So yeah, I'm filling time so that I can let this off gas a bit and we can brew. But it smells like it has that, so a lot of Taiwan coffees, the aromatics, even if they're processed, I will say that the SL34 stuff and the honey processed stuff is definitely not as crazy as like any of the anaerobically weirdness. Although I haven't really had that many anaerobics from Taiwan. There's a very distinctive woodiness, maybe not wood, but like branches or like wet branches or dry tea leaves or like the stems of or like certain parts of plants. Like that is what a lot of these coffees smell like. But it's just distinctively different than any of the other regions. I think that's fun, right? That's like the entire reason why we buy coffee from all these different regions. What's also been kind of interesting to me has been the world of Taiwan geisha. Geisha from Asia is super interesting. Yeah, wet branches. At least I didn't say like high school gym locker room. That's what Liberica tastes like. Okay, so here we go. This is what this has really cooled off. So this is the Thai coffee from Newbery Street. Now I'm really smelling like, I'm like trying to figure out what are the right words to use. Maybe not spiciness, but there's a sharpness to the aromatics. Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this tastes like. I was trying to Google some stuff, but yeah, this is still tasting great. It's now, because I think it's a lower ratio, it's now really taken this nice syrupy sweetness, caramel kinda caramelly. But I do get that anaerobic process in here. But it's like nice red fruits, and then at the end, what is lingering is the Thailand coffee taste, which I'm pretty sure one of you guys is better at explaining than me. It's not unpleasant, but it's like it reminds me of some of the bitterness that you can get from Catamar in this specific coffee, because there is Catamar in here, I believe. I just tuned in. Are these Taiwan/Thailand roasters or Thailand grown coffee? It's both. So this is coffee from Thailand, roasted by. Well, okay, he roasted it in the U.S., but he's from Thailand. Does that count? And then this is a Taiwan coffee. Roasted, well, this is my thing, but this is roasted under the Desolate Coffee from Taiwan, their roasting profile. So we have a SL34 honey, and we have grown in Taiwan, and we have this anaerobic natural, well, this is like a mix of a bunch of coffees from Chiang Rai, roasted by Pack. We got third at National Brewers Cup. Very cool. So that is what we are doing. If you want to try Brew Boy, you can try Taster Coffee. JQ is okay. Yeah, there have been people in the Discord talking about JQ stuff. Some of these coffees are like really hard to buy. But okay, I filled enough time now, so this was an example of a coffee. We've been talking about resting coffee for a bit of time. Like in the last stream we talked about resting coffee. I hope that was very helpful for people. I probably will do a more like an actual formal video on it where I will just go through the spreadsheet. But what I am doing right now is this is a coffee that is a light roasted coffee that was roasted yesterday. And I ground it and I let it sit for however many minutes, but I just let it sit and I was shaking it around, so I was trying to get as much air into it as possible. And now what I'm going to do in terms of brewing is I'm going to do double blooms. I'm going to try to really help open this coffee up, and hopefully that will let me taste some of the flavor notes of the coffee, even though it is lightly roasted and very, very fresh. I would not really recommend you do this, or like, I would recommend you do this even with some of the ultra light roasted coffees, but you might want to let them sit out for a day or something. Hey, what's up, Hoon? Thank you for tuning in. Just got the new pepper from Say. Tips for espresso. Which one did you get? I got both of them. I know people yesterday or 2 days ago were trying to make me open these up, but I think I want to rest them 9 days, 12. Okay, 2 more days. I'm going to open it up at 2 weeks. I got both the San Pedro and the Finca Surya, which we will, I'm going to go to, actually I can't go to San Pedro this trip, but I can go to Soledad. So we'll go there. I've kind of only been drinking Pepe. I would wait, how many days? Actually, could we open one? Could we open up one of these? Should we do San Pedro? I have the Instinto San Pedro. The issue is like, I gave it to Harry and I gave it to these guys and they're supposed to give me the rest of the coffee back. Yeah, okay. Let me brew this one first. And then I'm brewing this, and then we can maybe brew a Pepe, because I know everybody wants me to brew Pepe. I do think for espresso, okay, so for espresso, you want to pull it fast, low pressure, and relatively long, is what I'll say. Very, very straightforward. Okay, so this is a coffee. You guys cannot see this at all, but I'll try to verbally explain what's going on. So, very, very fresh coffee. Actually, is there a way? Let me see how good this iPhone is. Let's see if we can move it in here. Oh, did you get the Instinto San Pedro? That coffee, I tasted at Expo. I got some of it in. I'm waiting for it to come back to me. It's tasting pretty good. I can't really make this arm behave in the way I'm trying to make it behave. I wanted to show you guys the mega bloom happening, but I'll verbally tell you what's happening. You'll have to trust me, right? So I'm brewing also at 92 Celsius, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it. Yeah, okay, this is fresh. Luckily, this is lightly roasted, so we're not going to see a crazy bloom. But if you have it really fresh, what you can do is you just really want to let this sit here and you want to off-gas. So in this example, I brewed 12 grams. I'm going to brew 12 to 200. I'm going to do 45 or 60-second long blooms between the two pours. So this is what we call a double bloom. And it really helps open up very fresh coffee. It does help with extraction, but you run the risk of like having the bed dry out too much or your dripper temperature dropping a little too much as well. But you know, would you rather taste those off flavors or would you rather taste just roast, right? So the second pour is really when we start seeing kind of the mega, you know, maybe not mega bloom, but a lot of the larger off-gassing happening. First, so you should see more air usually on that second pour, like as you start really opening up the coffee. Literally, right? Ooh, okay. The Instinto roast, I have to try it again. I think we'll try it on the stream, or like maybe we'll stream tomorrow and we can try it tomorrow, but I know tomorrow we're gonna want to do the power tower. And I think I'll do 4 pours. 4 pours in an April. It's very unallowed here. I hope I don't over extract this. All right. So this is very, very fresh. Smells like Taiwan coffee. It has that post-brewed tea leaf flavor or aromatics. I'm curious how much of that to me is not the most pleasant flavor out there. I'm curious how much of that will make it into the final cup. But I will say, this Thailand coffee is pretty good. Now that it's really cooled down though, that is anaerobic natural is what I'm smelling. Woo! Okay, I was gonna pull down 1 to 3.5 at like 6 bars. I think that's a great place to start. There are 2 approaches to doing say espresso, and maybe we'll have to make a video on this because, you know, as you guys know, I pull a lot of espresso, right? 1 second, I'll be back. Ooh, nice. Let's see how much of this is roast, because I did grind it and I let it sit for a fair bit of time, and I also pulled out the double bloom. Let's see if that helps save some of it. But look at that. Well, that is actually really dark. Why not use boiling? Are you talking about like using hotter temperatures for fresher coffee, or why not use boiling for like these Thai and Taiwanese coffees? All right, let's give this a taste. I'm doing some QC right now. Okay, so smells nice. Smells sweet. It smells a lot cleaner than the anaerobic Thai that we have for obvious reasons, because it's not an anaerobic natural coffee. This is nice. Okay. No, I'm not brewing ultra lights right now. I'm brewing Asia Roasting Project Taiwan coffee, and I was brewing Newbery Street some Thailand coffee. Both of them are light, but these are like Asian light, if that makes sense. Well, this is definitely more like, well, not Asian light. This is like American light, but it's Asian coffee, so you gotta be a little more careful with how you handle them, especially if you don't want to get potential off flavors if you're not used to tasting that stuff. So that's why I use like 92 Celsius. I use lower temperature because it really rounds things out. This SL34, I'm letting it cool down. It can open up way more. It is still very, very fresh, but I'm not only tasting roast, which is the good thing. So that is why you grind it and you just let it sit there for a bit of time, and you double bloom, and it really helps make the coffee open up. I actually get, it's like a really nice balanced profile. So this is kind of a distillate roasting profile. Distillate coming out of Taiwan. Their owner Alex is I think he actually was in the U.S. for a bit, and he has some really nice placings in a lot of the roasting competitions. His profile is like super silky. really nice silkiness. There is this a bit of like the structure of acidity in it, which is nice, and it is kind of covering up some of those off flavors that you get in, you know, Taiwan coffee. I'm actually getting maybe something like a blackberry. I wrote tangerine. Okay. Like citrus, blackberry. It does remind me. So when I was writing the flavor notes on this coffee, I don't know if you guys have ever tasted like, well, you know, Asian pear. I wrote Asian pear on here. I'm so good at writing flavor notes, right? So, Asian pears, it's kind of like if you cut up the pears and you let it sit in like a container and you drink some of that juice. That's that type of sweetness that you get in here. So it's not like a sharp acidity. It's not like a punchy acidity at all. It's like that nice, softer, silky acidity in the form of like this Asian pear sweetness. So that's like exactly what I'm getting here. It probably would be a little more apparent or little more little sharper or crisper. I did get the crisper acidity with a much more rested sample. This here is hella fresh. No review on Instinto, unfortunately, since it was given to me for free. You should talk about it, though. It's so good. It's such a pleasure to be able to taste coffee roasted from origin. You know, you can make up flavor notes. I could have wrote, like, tastes like Panama Geisha. This probably actually tastes like some Panama Geisha. Oh, God. Not all Panama Geisha is good. Yeah. It's nice. I think I prefer this one over our last release, if you guys got the last release. I think this is a little more interesting. This has more, like, acidity in it. The last release we had, I think, had more sweetness. A little different. Actually, both of these have very distinctive different flavor profiles. Obviously, the coffees are different. But a coffee we're going to do in the near future is we're going to do this Mojo roast profile. Most likely, probably Mojo roast profile. But we're going to do a natural geisha. I tasted this natural geisha many months ago, and it was pretty good. Geisha from Taiwan. Ooh, very scary. Okay, now that this has really cooled down, that's where I'm getting some of that tangerine, like citrus acidity. It's popping up. There's maybe like a little bit of strawberry in there, but it's probably, it's still more of like an orange citrus situation. It's round, it's got this nice like silkiness to it, but the acidity is pretty crisp. Colombia natural pink bourbon tasting, you know? Dude, hella PVs have been good. Well, a lot of the washed pink bourbons have been great. By we, probably ARP, yeah? Oh, I left it. Okay, I didn't bring it with me, but I got a lot of coffees from Preston Flower Child. I got his version of the Servio. That was a pink bourbon that tastes like a Kenyan, at least the say roast of it. And yeah, but I'm gonna do some videos with Preston. We're gonna do like probably a video on coffee subscriptions. Another video on coffee subscriptions. It's like these videos are so obscure. But I think they're quite interesting topics. And I guess we'll brew a drip bag while we do that. While we talk about that. But yeah, I did this video with Bill just on like, this is what a coffee subscription is. But the interesting thing is like, so Bill's sub is like, I think he just does one coffee. But if you guys subscribe on the Say sub, right, you guys see like 4 or 6 coffees, right? And for you to get the better coffees, you gotta start like paying up for it. And the interesting thing with Preston's sub is he's like, if you sub, the 1 bag sub, the first bag is actually the best coffee out of everything. So that's a very different approach. And he does get other coffees, which are all great, but it's a different approach to building a coffee subscription. And I wanted to do a video on that. So this is a drip bag. How many grams of coffee can you handle each day? It depends on when I drink and if it's like before meals or what I'm eating. If I'm eating something that's very heavy, I usually have more coffee after that. But a lot of the days I'm now doing maybe like 50 to 75. I used to do a lot of days with like 90. I guess this is like pure consumption, at least like 60. Other days I do like, I brew a lot of coffee, and as you see right now, I'm sipping and spitting a lot of these, at least. So slightly different depending on, what is happening. So let me show you guys the technology that everybody uses, a lot of people use in Asia. If you guys have not ever seen this, this is a specialty drip bag. This is a drip bag from Desolate. I have 1 million of these. And what is really nice, we're giving it away. So if you get a ARP coffee, you get one of these in the box. But what's fun about these is they're pretty damn shelf stable. So like, you can have great coffees from drip bags. A lot of roasters do this now, and you're getting probably 80% as good as whole beans for the first 15 minutes. So if you want to just be able to taste a coffee and you just want to be able to experience it in some sort of way, a lot of the specialty drip bags do a great job. Now, I'm kind of hesitating on opening this because right when I start opening this coffee, it's kind of like the old coffee example I was using on the resting stream the other day, is right when I open this coffee and it starts to touch the air, that's when the lifespan of the flavors in here, or like the structure of flavors and intensity of a lot of flavors, start to instantly die. So, yeah, that is what's happening. And a lot of different drip bags now have slightly different materials, like sometimes you see like this type of drip bag, you'll see like this type of drip bag, you see different sizes, different doses, all of that all influences like flow rates and whatever there. But ultimately speaking, you're dealing with pre-ground coffee that is in a nitrogen flushed bag of some sort, right? And that is the challenge, like, manage your expectations if you're tasting coffee like this. But for a majority of people in the world, they don't have this. So this is all like, just pour water on it and it's pretty good. And honestly, like, a lot of times these taste pretty good. So this is a blend of a bunch of different coffees, if I remember correctly. And this one here has about 10 grams in it, and you're just supposed to pour this up to, at least 1 to 15. Now, what I've actually found to be quite interesting is tapping into slightly hotter temperatures for drip bags. Like, try to actually push extraction on drip bags. Did you hear about the coffee subscription Lance Hedrick is planning on starting? Yes, I have. I'm going to give Lance my money. I just like, I'm gonna wait for other people to link me it, and I'll buy it when it's live. I don't know. I'm like, I live in my own world, man. But I have heard about it, and I'm very excited to see what Lance does with it, because I think his coffees will be amazing. The real question is, I don't know how easy it is when it's going to be easy to buy. I hope it's easy to buy. I hope I don't have to like wake up in the middle of the night and try to buy it. But here we go. This is a drip bag. So I'm opening it up. It's touching the air. Ooh, whoa. Okay, you instantly get aromatics. Yep. And this is what a drip bag generally looks like. So I did a video on a local company called Hooked that does drip bags as well, but they work with US coffees. This is a drip bag from Taiwan, from Asia. Drip bags versus instant, they all taste different. But yeah, this is what you do. You stick it on like that. And there's generally 10 grams in it, but all of the different patterns and the materials that these drip bags use all influence flow rate. You open it up. I did see a comment from Timothy. Yeah, Jess from Oma Coffee Roaster got 3rd place with Hong Kong Brews using drip bag. Yeah, because you want to know why? Because it's pretty hard to mess up pouring in this. Like, all you do is you pour water in here. Oh, this is the weight, by the way. The total weight of this is 12.2 grams. It should be about 10 grams of coffee in there. And then, I like to level it. I'm using a scale. A lot of people in the world are not going to use a scale with drip bags, right? You just pour water over it. But what you can do is you actually can bloom. And you can kind of see the drip bag actually like fill up there. There we go. And if you're real try-hard, you can give it some agitation. But a lot of the drip bags from different manufacturers, different roasters, like literally the manufacturer of the drip bag, this will influence flow rate. Now, does that matter for a lot of people? Probably not. But I actually still get aromatics from it. And this was a 2-month-old roast, or 3-month-old roast, and the shelf life is until 2026. So I'm just going to do 3 pours. But I did a video a few months ago on drip bags, and we tasted a very standard coffee from Hooked, which was like onyx geometry in a drip bag. And then I tasted a Diego Bermudez crazy whatever coffee from Glitch. And it was interesting to be able to taste highly processed coffee in a drip bag. Another drip bag that has recently impressed me as well is April's. April, doesn't do the super funky coffees. So generally speaking, like a lot of these brewing formats, like instant coffee and drip bags, are all mega nerfed when it comes to giving you flavors. So a lot of roasters, like if you're doing instant, if you're doing drip bags, you're doing whatever, you tap into more potent coffees. So what was impressive to me with the April drip bag was it was not a super processed coffee, yet the flavors held up pretty well. But yeah, you can see this is coffee here. It's a pour over. Flow is pretty decent. And I am getting aromatic from here. Yep. I think some of the flavors on here are like watermelon. This is the Desolate Coffee's blend, but a lot of roasters are selling this, but this is like a typical thing in Asia. People in Asia think coffee is drip bags or instant coffee, right? And it's like, it's just a different world out there for the actual mediums of what coffee are. And I think that's what's fun. It's like you can get great coffee taste from like a commandeer, an instant, a drip bag, a tea bag as well. Like, we don't know anything anymore, man. Like, as long as it tastes good, it doesn't necessarily have to be whole beans. In fact, I would wager some of the instant that exists out there in the world tastes a hell of a lot better than a lot of roasters' whole beans. Like, I would drink a luminous instant, a black and white instant, an April drip bag over a lot of roasters. And I'm talking like whole beans too. And I think a lot of you guys would probably agree with that. Isn't that crazy? Intelli's also done a really great job with Black Cat Instant. Their cafe in Pasadena doesn't even make espresso. It only uses instant. And you're dumping that in milk? I don't think anybody can tell. I actually have it here. I tasted the Blue Bottle Instant. I have the Black Cat Espresso Instant. Like, I don't think the actual brewing format, like, I'm not a stickler on like, oh, it has to be whole beans. It has to be whatever, right? I just want it to taste good. Although I obviously am a skeptic on a lot of these, but these have proven to be a pretty good job. Okay, so this right now is the time to taste these drip bags. Obviously, this is not like the most egregious example. This is only about 3 months off. When you hit about a year, that's when these like really start dropping off. But right now, this is the flavors in this brew are gonna hold for probably the next 15 to 20 minutes. After that, that's when you're gonna start tasting like, oh, this was obviously like pre-ground, and this was obviously like, you know, old coffee. There's some nice aromatics in here. I think this is like their fruity blend or something, but it tastes, this is a fun one, is you definitely can taste the roasting profile, like the roast style from Desolate here. Like, it even shows up in the drip bag, which is like round acidity buildup, round finish, silky, nice body. Tastes pretty good. This is, I think, definitely a more developed roast. I mean, the grounds are like pretty dark. But yeah, you know, I think if you're in a pinch, things like Swift Cup, the Black and White Instant, Luminous Instant, all those, they're great. They are a lot, you know, I bet you, like, you would prefer a cup of some of the instant, you know, they're using like Omega processed coffee though, so if you're not the biggest fan of Omega processed coffee, right? But generally speaking, it's like a lot of the Omega processed coffees in instant form are not as bad as they would be in whole bean form, because you're still tasting the coffee through the medium of something like instant. On top of that, if you need to use instant and you're traveling, it's like, if you're a true coffee stickler, right, you probably would prefer to drink a highly processed instant coffee than like a dark roast diner brew that's been oxidized. Pick your poison, right? Do you want the dank or do you want the dark? But this is tasting pretty good. So a lot of these coffees have tasted not bad. Pretty decent across the board. This Thai coffee from Newbery Street has actually been pretty impressive in the sense, like, this is actually one of the first few anaerobic natural coffees that I'm tasting from Southeast Asia that is not only anaerobic natural tasting. So I haven't really, I'm not like, it's not like egregiously anaerobic-y natural. Like, I'm not only tasting the process, I'm able to taste a bunch of other stuff, which is nice. This SL34 is actually a lot better than what I think you will. I was gonna say a lot better than what I thought, but that's not me being a good salesman here. This is pretty good. Is it as like vibrant as like a Say roast? No, it's not. But it is a pretty clean SL34. I'm pretty impressed with how the production of this coffee turned out, and you know, I hope you guys enjoy it. There are only, what, 15 bags of this left? Jeez, okay. I hope it doesn't, okay, it might sell out. It is expensive though, so I do want to thank everybody for picking it up. But we roasted it yesterday, and it's going to take about 2 weeks before it opens up anyway, and we're going to ship it out this coming week. So any of you guys who want to try it, now's the time to grab it. I don't think it's a coffee for everyone, but I think it's interesting. And I think that's like one thing that, you know, I'm trying to put out there is like, what are these coffees, what are these guys doing? What are these guys in Asia doing? Sometimes they're doing good coffees, and sometimes we have no idea. But I'm going to give this SL34 another taste, and then I'll give this Thai coffee another taste. Yeah, there's grape co-ferment right now on Luminous. That's not bad. Really nice sweetness. Nice, a little bit of that citrus acidity is in there. Pretty clean. Grape co-ferment. Any of you guys who are watching, if you're in New York, I'm going to be there from the 18th to 26th. I'm probably going to do an event with, I think, Multimodal. I don't know yet, but we're going to do something for AAPI month. So that'll be a good, hopefully a good event. We'll get some coffees roasted by a lot of the Asian roasters, the Asian American roasters, so on and so forth. They'll do an event about it. Given that there aren't that many of us in the specialty coffee world, it's very awesome to be able to support that community. I don't think I'm going to do an event at Say because Lance is not in town during the time that I'm there. Very, very tragic. He's there a week after I leave. And then the week after I leave, I'm in Ecuador. I'm going to be with Pepe Hihan. Assuming all my travel plans go well, I got to double check my passport, but it should be good. Yeah, unfortunately, well, I can look into Hawaii shipping. It is really expensive. That is the issue. And I don't know if I want, on top of like a $45 bag of coffee, I don't want you to pay like half of that just on shipping. So unfortunately, we turned off Hawaii for the time being. We turned off Canada because shipping, I'll get back to you on that. If you're in the Discord, take a look at it. If you're in the Discord, message me or something. I'll try to get you sorted. Live stream with Pepe, maybe. I'll actually ask some of you guys in the Discord, but I have to figure out the internet situation. So I think I'm going to do like Google Fi, stream from the phone, pay a $10 per gig. I don't know. I have to figure that out. I also don't know what like the Wi-Fi connection is. But given that I have seen Pepe IG live stream, it has to be possible to, like, he has Wi-Fi, he has fast enough bandwidth to do good live streams. So we might do that. It's just more of like, if we leave certain areas, does the connection go down? Yeah, unfortunately, you guys live in an area that's hard for me to ship to. Let me see. Yeah, thanks for shipping me those Ghost Spurs too. If I have time, I'll do a brew guide, but there is a pour-over video that I did on how to approach a lot of our coffees. Maybe I could do a video on like, how do you brew off-origin coffees? But a lot of the approaches are the same. Use lower temperature, use lower agitation, try to make the cup nicely round and sweet, but also still some of the get some of the flavors there. It's kind of a different way. Like, on one hand, I'm like, okay, I want to make a recipe that is transparent, that shows you what the coffee should taste like. The challenge is if you have only been drinking Western style coffee and you suddenly jump into one of these, you're probably gonna really dislike the transparent brew of these coffees because you're gonna taste too much of the terroir and too much of the origin and too much of the varietal, and that's why I'm like, okay, I still want to give people the advice that is relatively safe, right? Like here's like low temperature, brew it slow, brew it whatever, and good things will taste, like the recipe that I have is distinctively different than my Say V60 recipe, for example. You can probably just buy a sim while in Ecuador. Yeah, I didn't realize Ecuador ran on USD, and like you don't get hit with any of the. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but like you don't get hit with any of like the weird foreign transaction fees on a lot of the credit cards. Just bring cash. You can Uber places. It's easy. I haven't been out of the country in a very long time, so I'm just really happy that, like, I've never been to a coffee farm. So the first one, I wanted to make it special, and I thought doing something with Pepe Hihan would be amazing. I actually live in Thailand, but originally from Hawaii, and will be there in the month of June. Okay. Hey, you should go pick. You want to get some Thailand coffee? Buy some from Pac, from Newbery Street. I got a Catamore from Yunnan. At the moment, it tastes like pure purple fruit candy. When we did the Yunnan coffee tasting, we definitely had some coffees that had incredible deep purple fruit acidity. Let me see if I can pull up I put it in the Discord the other day when we streamed, but like our best of Yunnan tasting, we had Luckin W001 was a washed processed coffee that was super purple fruit and like dark chocolate. We got some of the dark chocolate bitters in there because it was like, that's just what Catamore kind of tastes like. But there was specifically, I did remember a purple fruit tasting coffee that was in there. That was it was a Luckin, the Luckin coffee, or the Chinese Luckin coffee. That was that coffee there. I had the Project One Life from Yunnan, and it reminded me of Lady Bermudas. Okay, yeah. So a lot of the Chinese producers have kind of taken the Chinese approach, and they have kind of thrown everything at the wall when it comes to processing, and they have found some of the yeast fermented coffees, like the P4 Catamore, tastes like Lady Bermudas. Tastes like those thermal shocked, crazy yeast fermented Colombian coffees. When you say purple fruit, do you mean grape or plum? More like plum. Grape, yeah, like I would say more like plum, grapefruit's not a purple fruit. Oh my god. I'm kind of caffeinated right now, but let me Google purple fruit. Blackberry, but more of like, I think like grape to me is its own flavor note than purple fruit, even though technically it is, but it's like, I think like a lot of grape coffees you taste are like grape. Let me check to see if my phone is gonna die. Wow, that's crazy. I had like 65% or something when I started streaming. I'm at like 50%. iPhone is insane. I've had no overheating problems with this. Why do I even use other cameras? This thing is great. I just needed to hook up external audio to this, but like, it's pretty great. You should go to Thailand Coffee Festival. I need to do more international travel. I've just had a hell of a weird Q1. Had to launch the X Bloom Studio, had to do a bunch of travel and all of that, but yeah. Oh, you had a... Is that something you can share in the Discord, or you got a link for it? That'd be really cool to see. That'd be really cool to see what you guys came up with, because we spent a bit of time working on X Bloom Studio and obviously the original X Bloom, and I actually was aware of the Aiden's existence when I worked at Fellow. So you're in Australia in July? Maybe. I might go to Denmark. I don't know yet for Copenhagen. I am not entirely sure. I have no idea. What we're trying to do, at least for my work, what we're trying to do is the rest of the year we're probably doing a lot of like road shows and stuff with X Bloom, like show off some cool machines and whatnot. I'm gonna be in Austin 2 weeks from now, from the 13th to probably 16th or 17th, and then I'm gonna be in New York after. So we might do some goofy live streams from these locations, and I think you guys are welcome to, if you are in person in there, you're welcome to come say hi and hang out. If you get a custom color Cavitec, what would you go for? I really want an anodized blue Cavitec. I love blue. Blue's my favorite color. So I would get a, depending on what shade of blue I could get, I would get that. I just think, I think Dennis did one for his brother. He did like a blue shoot. But yeah, like this flat max here. I just needed to unplug this flat max here. Flat max is on the side. I have no space on this table to put it. Some drop things. This flat max here, this leather mat that, I think you guys can see this. So I can pick the blue bag, right? Here, this has a blue mat that Robert, who you see on the stream, made me. I like this, maybe like a little brighter blue, but like I would get a blue, like I would want this all in blue. Like the red Cavitec is amazing. Maybe just that, but in blue. How low is low temp? 88 to 92 Celsius, a little lower than a lot of other coffees that you might be used to brewing, generally speaking. I might, you're hanging out in the Discord, we can talk about stuff once you get the coffee in. Always a little on edge when we release these coffees out there, because if you're not used to how some of these coffees taste, you might just be like, this is terrible. But there is an approach to dialing in, and of course a point of calibration of like, oh, this is definitely coffee from a different region. Have you tried SLM versus SSW, by the way? Heard anything about the difference? I have not tasted SSW extensively. I've tasted it a few times at some meetups. TLDR, like, from what I read at least, I haven't A/B'd them at all, but SSW are better at longer ratios. They're sweeter, but they don't have like as much acidity presentation as SLM, but they all are of the same-ish style, if that makes sense. Just drop some pics in general. Ooh, let's take a look. Very cool. Yeah, I have to look at a lot of... I gotta catch them on Discord. I'm on the live stream right now. But I think... Well, we can look at this tomorrow too, but we'll be on tomorrow doing Power Tower stuff. I don't know what time though. Maybe like 11 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Wow, okay, holy shit, it's 8 p.m. I go get dinner. Yeah, I might do... I'm not sure about this yet, but I feel like I might do a video just on the Discord. I feel like we've had a lot of fun stuff happen in the Discord, a lot of cool shit. Like, not gonna lie, you guys have created a very interesting community in here. It's super fun to be in, and like people do hella sick stuff. Like I I'm always impressed to see kind of the discussions that people are into, all the way up until the anime zone. We have the weeb zone. I should just rename it to weeb zone. Every single time I look at other hobbies, it's just weeb shit. So like maybe maybe I'll make another channel just for like all you weebs. But yeah, like we could invite people in to get into the Discord. I just like don't know. Like right now this Discord is really meant for a lot of people who stream, come to the streams, right? Like you're on the same page, you go and look at stuff, and then some of you guys do contribute in terms of like we got some emotes, we got some like a bunch of other stuff in here. I've added a fair bit of Pepes, but I can keep adding more Pepes if we're interested in more Pepes. There is some NBA, but it's NBA and anime girls. It's either weeb stuff, Chi-Fi, or NBA. Yeah. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of K-pop stuff that happens in the Discord too. And I'm like, I don't know anything in there. Like I go to memes and shit posting, and the first thing I see is like it's like some anime shit. But yeah, maybe like the thing is like if I do a video on it and on the Discord and invite people into the Discord, you're gonna get people who are like not as open to this stuff, right? And it's like might not be, we might have to like section off certain parts of the Discord more. But yeah, the Discord is popping. I have a lot of fun. I think the Discord is so fun to be in there. I'm like never sure anymore. I made the Discord just for fun to like I do all this shit for fun. Like, that's most of coffee for me, but I did the Discord so I could just put the Burr spreadsheet somewhere, and then now it has become something slightly different. There is some very helpful information. How good is Kalare? It's pretty good. I like it a lot. It is. We did all the Yunnan tastings. Those coffees were great. We didn't dislike the coffees. Like we had no opinion that was drastically influenced by the roast style. So it was like nice. It was like nice roasting style. Harry started K-pop. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are doing some goofy stuff in the Discord, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up. I'll probably be on tomorrow with we'll have the real camera. We'll have to like get some audio stuff. Hopefully it's not like scalding hot. I'm gonna have to turn on the AC and whatnot. If it's like insanely hot, it's gonna not be the most fun, but. What we're planning on doing tomorrow is getting the power tower, getting random easy presso grinders and whatever, and we're gonna try to see what happens. I don't know what time people are free. Let me ask. I mean, I've asked these guys, but no one's responding. People are working right now. Oh my god. But yeah, okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna wrap up. This was all entirely streamed on the iPhone. Not bad, like audio-wise. Audio could probably, it's always audio, but like the actual iPhone does a decent job. Not gonna lie. I'm kind of like, this is more reliable than my actual camera. It's crazy. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna see you later. See you guys in the Discord. If you have any other questions or any other things you want to chat about, put that in the Discord. That's where to go. All right. See you guys later.